Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today. It is a little flip top card, and if I in fact flip the top, inside you have room for a gift card or some paper money or a little secret note, and it's very easy to do, very easy to make, and stay with me, I'll show you how. These are the supplies that I'm going to be using to make my card. The base is a piece of Night of Navy, and I've cut it to 11.5 by 4, scored and folded at 5 3/4. And on top of that, I'm going to mat a piece of Naturally Eclectic DSP, and this is 3 3/4 by 5.5, so that it fits just inside my card base. I'm going to be using some Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. I'm going to be die cutting out of that, and I've also got some scraps of some of the other colours that are in the Naturally Eclectic paper. So I've got some Emerald Envy, some Peekaboo Peach, some Berry Burst, and some Lemon Lime Twist, and I've also got a little piece of Whisper White here that I may or may not use. I haven't decided yet. I'm stamping using the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamps and Night of Navy ink, and I'm also going to be using my Stampin' Up markers. So I've got the Lemon Lime Twist, Berry Burst, I keep wanting to say Rich Raspberry, and Peekaboo Peach. And I'm going to be die cutting using dies from the Mini Treat Bags Thinlets. I want the corners of my paper and my card to be rounded, and Stampin' Up no longer stock a corner rounder punch, but you don't need one if you've got one of these. This is the envelope punch board, and this side of the envelope punch board is a nice little corner rounder. So I'm just going to demonstrate on this bit of paper. Now I'm only going to do one because my table is very flexible and it bounces and it'll make you all feel seasick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round off all 4 corners of this this paper, and I'm going to round these corners on the card. Okay, so give me a minute, be right back with you. I'm back, and all of the corners of my paper and my card are rounded, even these. Now I didn't mention these when I said what I was going to be doing, because I wasn't 100% sure whether the punch would cope with 2 layers of card, because of course you have to put it into the jaws of the punch folded. As it happened, it did. I had to be quite firm with it, but it wasn't. It didn't need excessive force. Now, if you try this and you think, do you know what, it's just not having it, leave it alone, because when you come to put the DSP on top, the fact that that corner is straight isn't going to be that noticeable. Alright, but if you can, if your punch will cope with it, then it is a nice little finishing touch. Now I'm going to apply the DSP to the front of the card. Just want to point out that if you're using something, you're using a DSP that's directional, this one isn't particularly. This bit, which would normally be the bottom of your card, is actually going to be the top. Alright, so if you've got flowers growing on your paper, you want them growing that way, not that way. Alright, so I'm going to apply this. I think I'm going to use some liquid adhesive for this, and liquid adhesive is my go-to adhesive, and I'm going to run some along the middle piece here, because when this adhesive is dry, I'm going to be slicing across there. So I just put this straight. There we are. We'll give that a few minutes to dry. Next, I'm going to slice off this part of the card. 3, 2, 1. Next, I'm going to chop off this part of the card, and I'm going to, let's see, how far down do I want it? 2.5 inches, 2 1/4. I think 2 1/4 looks about right. Yeah, so I'm going to slice through that, and I'm going to go forwards and back and forwards, because I've got to cut through a few layers of card. Okay, so I can put away my trimmer, and the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to join these pieces back together. Now my card's in two pieces, and this piece is going to be the bit that holds the gift card, and this piece is going to be the flap that opens and closes, just like that. Alright, so I'm going to put some tear and tape along the inside of the card here to hold it down. And yes, I know it's tear and tape and I could tear it, but I have my scissors handy, so why not use them? Alright. And just close that into place. Alright. And so I've got a little pocket space in there. Okay. And now this piece I want to hold on with a brad so that it pivots. Now these are, we no longer stock these. Stampin' Up discontinued these a while ago, but I stocked up. And of course you can get brads freely available in all sorts of craft supply places. Okay, so I'm going to hold that where I want it. Got my piercing tool, and I've got a cork underneath so that I don't drive the piercing tool into my thumb. Just making sure everything's lined up properly. I'm just piercing a hole. Okay. And once I've got the hole started, I can go ahead and make it bigger. Cork is making a bid for freedom there, excuse me. Okay. And now put the brad through the holes, turn it over, open up the little legs of the brad, and there you go. You've created the opening mechanism. My stamp, which says happy birthday, and it's in very straight. Let's pop that down where I want it. Da, da, da. Pick it up. That'll do. I have my stamp mounted on my clear block. It's the one that says happy birthday. I have my Night of Navy ink here, and a piece of lemon lime twist card, and inking up my stamp. And I'm just going to press down and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the ink to transfer. I've got a silicone mat underneath because this is a photopolymer stamp, and that's transferred very nicely, and it's also transferred to my hands. So I'm going to go over to the big shot, and while I'm there I'll pop down to the bathroom and wash my hands, because I'm going to die cut out this piece for the front of the card. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back with you. I'm back from the big shot, and as you can see, I've cut out my my stamped piece, and I also cut another piece in lemon lime twist that is just blank, and that's going to be used to back the first piece. And ooh, shooting star. Cut out some of the large stars in the bright colours, so as the Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Beach, Berry Burst, and the lemon lime twist. And with my piece of Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper, I ran it through on this. This is, it's a tumble dryer sheet. Now it's the kind that is fibrous, not the kind that is soft and wet and soggy. Alright, so this I think is Lenore, in case you're interested in the brand. And what that does is that it means that the die cut pieces stick to it, they cling to it, and so when you take your die away, you haven't got to spend an awful lot of time picking your pieces out of the die. But for this case, I've left them where they are because I want to colour these stars in. So I've got my markers. Now you don't need them to stay stuck down to the backing, all right, but it does make your life a great deal easier, because if you're trying to colour these little pieces and they're kind of dancing away from you, that is no fun at all. So that was Berry Burst. This is Peekaboo Peach, and can you see how quickly this is going? And I have to be honest, I did experiment with this first. I wasn't 100% sure whether the diamond dust paper, dazzling diamonds, not diamond dust at all, would take the ink, but as you can see, it does. So I'm going to leave those for just a few minutes to set for the ink to dry, and then we're going to be using them onto the front of our card. While the ink is drying on the little stars here, I'm going to work on this piece for the front of the card, and I'm going to begin by I'm going to take this one and I'm going to stick it inside the card here, and I'm going to allow that plenty of time to dry itself off. So I actually chopped off the point of the star there, but shh, don't tell anybody. Nobody will notice, alright? Alright, and that will help that open and close over the top of it. Right, now this piece, I'm going to arrange the stars around the back of it. So let's have a star popping out of the top, just like that. And we'll have another one that's here. Now as you can see, I'm spreading the back with liquid adhesive, and I'm not worrying too much about where it's going to be all going, because that is why I cut that extra piece. That is going to be my backer piece. And we'll have another one around about here. Actually, I'm going to move that a bit, it's a bit unbalanced. Let's put that there. Okay, and turn it over. Nice coat of liquid adhesive all along there, and just sandwich those pieces into place. Alright, and the reason why I'm doing that is that I don't want anything on the back here to foul the open and closing mechanism when I come to stick that onto the front. I had to rearrange that star slightly because it was overhanging the edge of my card, but now I'm just going to adhere this piece to the top part of the card. So I'm lining up the kind of the arrow point with the cut line, and now when that opens up, inside it will reveal the extra star and the gift card that you're putting in there. I've stuck some of the little glittery stars onto glue dots, and now I'm just going to apply them to the front of the card, and I'm going to make sure that I put one on top of that brad just to cover it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to pop the others down here and there, wherever I think they would look good. Yeah, see, glue dots and me, not a happy combination. Okay, so now let's put the others. And here it is finished. I put lots and lots of the little glittery stars onto the front of the card to make it nice and blingy. And if I open it up, inside I have space to put my gift card. So that is it for today. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then please do come back and see me again, won't you? But for now, thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye.